Hello, my dedicated healers. How are you feeling? Whip this up real quick. A cabinet's open. Hold on, it's gonna bother me. Anywho's, this morning I wrote a letter to an individual that hurt me, that failed to see me, that was committed to misunderstanding me. I'm hungry as shit too, so. My hands are ashy, don't fuck with me. I just get done washing the dishes. Nevertheless, this person has been on my spirit for a while, and has almost taken so much power from me and so much confidence from me that I didn't realize it until after I wrote them this letter, because I've been holding on to it. And not the letter, I wrote it this morning, but I've been holding on to the feelings and everything, because I'm like, when I get the chance to see them, I'm letting it out. I'm singing this motherfucker all over them. They gonna hear me, they gonna feel me, they gonna this and that. And then I had to take a second to realize that I was still hurt. Or I was more hurt than I had led myself to believe. And I have sporadically mentioned this person. And yesterday, my soul sister, well, her friend was with me at the crib, and I had mentioned it again, and they were like, well, what is it? Like, why do you, why does this person keep coming up? Why do you keep mentioning them? And what I had told them at first was because I want them to know that I see them. That all that rage and anger and disrespect is all smoke screens for the fact that you're terrified. And I understand. But because I understood so much, I allowed them to disrespect me. I allowed them to have their moments, their outbursts. Even going back to them and I's relationship, or dating ship, we'll call it that. There were moments in which I was intimidated to speak out, in fear of what I may be met with by sharing my feelings or talking about things. But I did it anyway, because the biggest pillar in my relationships that I share is open and honest communication. And so whenever I did start to speak up more and share things more, the only question that I was met with was, am I a trigger for you? And I feel like by saying that, you're taking maybe a lack of accountability on your own actions. Like, yes, you could very well be a trigger for me, and I'll work through those and I'll pay attention to those, make sure I'm not projecting, and it's going to take both parties to do that back and forth, to hold me accountable and then to hold the other person accountable. But I realized that was a big old red flag. It was a big old red flag, because instead of them taking the time to go, okay, why did my actions make you feel that way? Or what part of my actions made you feel that way? It immediately turned into, I'm a trigger for you, so why are we doing this? And so as I was writing this letter and I'm talking to this person, I realized the reason why I'm so hurt and the reason why this individual triggers me so easily is because soon as things were no longer going according to the script that was made up in their mind, or the goals that we had wanted and worked towards together was no longer coming to fruition, they stopped believing in me. And that fucking hurt. Whenever I had left the relationship before that, I was in a bajillion pieces. And I was slowly putting myself back together. But then I realized that I was still building myself back up to be this glass vase, to be this strong person. Excuse me. To be this strong person. But then I had realized I don't want to be this hard person. I want to be strong, but I don't want to be hard. And that's one of the biggest reasons for my tattoo. It's a woman, the depiction of me ripping her chest open as a sculpture, and there's grass and vines and roses growing out from her because I'm no longer making myself hard, but I am very strong. But realizing that literally just this morning, I realized that this person no longer believed in me. And so I told two people about how I had wrote this letter, and both of the first person said, "Are you going to burn it?" And at first I got mad because I was like, this is some juicy stuff. Like, I really like read it to filth. Like, I got everything out. No, I want them to hear. I want them to read it. And then the other person asked me, what are my plans with it? And then I got to, I don't know. And then as I was cooking my breakfast, I realized, why would I double back sharing my feelings with someone who stopped believing in me? Why would I do that to myself? Am I addicted to the pain? Yes. Am I acknowledging that and realizing when to stop these habits? Yes. And so now I think I'm gonna fold it up, put it in a nice pretty envelope, might even stamp that hoe. And then I'm going to burn it to the ground, because there's no reason for me to keep trying to give. Because I realize, I say I realize a lot, because I do be realizing a lot. I seen that there was still part of me, maybe even like 0.00187% of me, that was still hoping for the possibility that they would see me and then start believing in me again. No, Aaliyah. No. I'm believing in me now. I'm trusting me. I'm believing in me. And the first part of that is protecting myself. Protecting myself from the bullshit. And at first I was like, nah, they spit all this bullshit at me, I'm giving it back. This ain't for me to hold. This is their shit. Nah. Because I had watched this video of, I think I pronounced his name, Leo Skeppy. Follow him on Instagram. Listen to his podcast. I love him. And he had talked about how when somebody spits bullshit at him, he spits it right back. Like, you don't get to just give that to me. This is yours. This isn't for me to hold. And so now I'm practicing the discernment of when to spit that right back to certain people, and then when to leave people exactly where they are. Because it's up to them to see their actions. It's up to them to notice the repetitions of when they're pushing people away to protect themselves, or when they're pushing people away to avoid accountability. And I can't be the person, I won't be the person to help people to see that, especially when they're not asking for it. So I'm very proud of myself right now. I'm very happy for myself right now, because old Aaliyah might have already texted this individual or sent a voice message or motherfucking scanned the note pages and sent it to them, because you're gonna feel me. The way you're gonna feel me now, it's gonna be a lot worse. Oh, it's gonna be a lot worse. It's gonna be very different. And I'm okay with that, because by doing this, I'm taking my power back. Because if I would have gave them the opportunity, I don't know if they've grown. I don't know if they've done the work. I don't know if I'm walking back into the same battlefield that I clawed myself out of. I don't deserve that. The people around me don't deserve that, because if I go in and get hurt, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be different, guarded. I've worked too hard because I'm dedicated to healing. Oh, I'm dedicated to healing myself. And I can't be dedicated to anybody else's healing process unless they want me to be there. So I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to my friends who supported me during this process, and to my lady, who has been the most patient, loving, amazing woman that I've ever had in my life. So, my dedicated healers, keep putting yourself first. It's hard, but it's necessary. And learn when to break cycles that are no longer serving you. Until next time, healers. Okay, we'll work on it.